The gardens of Meridian 7 Station were always beautiful in the morning cycle. Artificial sunlight poured through the massive dome windows, and plants from 100 worlds grew together in careful harmony. Little Hay loved the gardens most of all. The 6-year-old human girl ran between the flowering trees, her dark hair bouncing as she laughed. Her parents sat on a nearby bench watching her play. They were colonists from Earth, stopping at the station before their journey to a new world. Hay had been cooped up in their ship for weeks. She needed to run and play. "Not too far, Hay," her mother called. Hay waved back and continued her game. She was pretending to be an explorer, discovering new planets. In her mind, each tree was a different world. Tay watched the little girl from his position near the garden entrance. He was a security officer on the station, and his shift was almost over. He smiled as Hay jumped over a small stream, her arms spread wide like wings. Human children were so full of energy. It reminded him of his own childhood on Earth, before he joined the military. The station was busy today. Aliens of every shape and size walked through the gardens. There were the tall, thin Valorians with their crystal skin, the short, furry Puck who traveled in groups, the massive Grunt who had to duck through most doorways, and dozens of other species that called the galaxy home. Hay rounded a corner at full speed, her eyes on a bright purple flower ahead. She didn't see the figure standing in her path. She crashed right into Commander Vriltana. The Slith officer stumbled back, her reptilian face twisting in shock and anger. She was tall and covered in blue-green scales. Her eyes were yellow with thin black pupils. In her hand, she held a ceremonial staff made of crystal. Hay fell backward onto the ground. "Oh, I'm sorry," she said quickly, scrambling to her feet. "I didn't see you. I was running too fast. I'm really sorry." Vriltana looked down at the small human child. Her mouth curled into a sneer. Around them, other aliens stopped to watch. "You touched me," Vriltana hissed. Her voice was cold and sharp. "You filthy Deathworlder spawn. You dare to put your primitive hands on a commander of the Slith Concordat?" Hay took a step back, confused and frightened. I said sorry. It was an accident. An accident." Vriltana raised her staff. "You will learn respect, creature." The staff came down fast. The crystal struck Hay on the side of her head with a sickening crack. The little girl dropped like a stone. Blood began pooling on the white pathway. For a moment, everything was silent. Then Hay's mother screamed. Tay was already running. He covered the distance in seconds, dropping to his knees beside the unconscious child. His hands shook as he checked for a pulse. "It was there, but weak. Someone call medical now," he shouted. Hay's parents reached them, her mother sobbing as she tried to hold her daughter. Tay had to pull her back gently. "Don't move her. The medics are coming." He looked up at Vriltana. The Slith commander stood there, staff still in hand, looking annoyed rather than sorry. Something dark and cold settled in Tay's chest. His hand moved to his weapon. "Officer Tay, stand down." Captain Bin's voice cut through his rage. The human station commander had arrived with more security. He put a hand on Tay's shoulder. "Stand down. That's an order." "She hit a child," Tay said slowly. Each word felt like broken glass in his throat. "She struck a 6-year-old girl for bumping into her." "I see that," Captain Bin said quietly. His face was like stone. "But she has diplomatic immunity. We have to follow protocol." Medical staff arrived with a stretcher. Not Tay's partner, and the station's best human doctor was with them. She took one look at Hay and her expression went tight. "Severe head trauma," Na said as they loaded the girl onto the stretcher. "We need to get her to surgery immediately." As they rushed Hay away, her parents following behind, Tay stood slowly. He faced Vriltana. "You just killed a child," he said. "She's alive," Vriltana replied with a dismissive wave. "Your species is so dramatic." It was a lesson in respect. Perhaps now human vermin will watch where they run on civilized stations. 2 other Slith officers moved to flank their commander. They didn't look concerned. They looked bored. Captain Bin stepped between Tay and the aliens. "Commander Vriltana, I'm going to have to ask you to come with me to file a report." "A report?" Vriltana laughed. It sounded like rocks scraping together. "For what? Defending my person from assault by an inferior species? I think not, Captain. I am a diplomatic officer. Your human feelings do not concern me. I will be in the Slith quarters if the Council wishes to speak with me." "Which they will not." She walked away, her officers following. No one stopped them. Tay's hands were in fists so tight his nails cut into his palms. Other human workers had gathered now. He could see Wu, the station engineer. Jin's friend Day from the docking bay. More coming every moment, Captain. Tay said carefully. Are we going to let her walk away? Captain Bin's jaw worked. He looked older than his 40 years. The Galactic Council has rules, Tay. The Sislith Concordat is a founding member. Friltana has full diplomatic protection. If we arrest her, we could start a war. She hurt Hay. I know. Captain Bin's voice cracked slightly. I know. I've already sent a formal protest to the Council. We'll demand justice through proper channels. Proper channels, Tay repeated. The words tasted like poison. He walked away before he did something they'd all regret. His shift was over anyway. In the medical bay, Na worked for 3 hours trying to save Hay's life. The skull fracture was severe. There was bleeding in the brain. The little girl's body fought hard, but she was so small. When Na finally came out of surgery, still in her blood-stained scrubs, she found Tay waiting. She's alive, Na said, but she's in a coma. The damage, Tay, even if she wakes up, she might never be the same. Tay nodded slowly. He didn't trust himself to speak. Where's Vriltana now? Na asked, in her quarters, protected by diplomatic immunity. Na was quiet for a long moment. Then she said Hay was playing. She was just playing. I know. That night messages began flowing through the human network on Meridian 7. Quiet conversations in break rooms, coded words over personal comms. By morning, every human on the station knew what had happened. The Galactic Council met and reviewed the case. It took them 4 hours to reach a decision. They sent a formal message to Captain Bin. The message said, the Council recognizes that cultural differences exist between species. Commander Vriltana has expressed regret for the unfortunate incident. No further action will be taken. Please accept our wishes for the child's recovery. No punishment, no arrest. Not even a fine. Captain Bin had to read the message to Hay's parents. He had to watch a mother and father break down, knowing their daughter was dying and no one cared. That night, a ship docked at Meridian 7. It was a human freighter called the Defiant Hope. The captain was a man named Jin. He was Tay's brother, and he brought 17 crew members with him, all former Earth military, all ready to listen to what Tay had to say. In the medical bay, little Hai lay in her coma, machines breathing for her. Her small hand was cold. Her parents sat beside her, hoping for a miracle that wouldn't come. On Earth, there was an old saying. It went back thousands of years to the earliest days of human civilization. The saying was simple. No one touches our children. The galaxy was about to learn what those words meant. The maintenance level of Meridian 7 was not meant for public use. The tunnels were dark and filled with the hum of station machinery. This is where Jin met with his brother. Tay arrived first. He looked tired. He hadn't slept since the incident. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw little Hai falling, saw the blood spreading on the white pathway. Jin came down the ladder with Wu behind him. The old engineer had worked on the station for 15 years. He knew every system, every corridor, every security camera. How is she? Jin asked. No change, Tay said. Still in a coma. Na says her brain activity is getting weaker. Jin put a hand on his brother's shoulder. They had grown up together on Earth in the Korean sector. Their parents taught them the old ways. Honor, family, protection of the innocent. When Tay joined station security, Jin went to the merchant fleet. But they were still brothers. The council sent their response, Tay continued. His voice was flat. They won't touch Vriltana. Cultural differences, they said. She's protected. Protected, Wu spat the word. That snake hit a child and they protect her. More people arrived. Day came silently, moving like a shadow. He'd been special forces before retiring to work the docks. A woman named Hai arrived next, still in her pilot's uniform. Then others. Engineers, dock workers, shop owners, medical staff. All human, all angry. By the time everyone gathered, there were 23 of them in that maintenance tunnel. We all know why we're here, Jin said. He stood in the center and everyone went quiet. 3 days ago, Commander Vriltana struck a 6-year-old human child. Little Hay is dying. The Galactic Council says there will be no punishment. No arrest, nothing. Because she's Slith, someone said bitterly. Because we're just humans. New to the galaxy. We don't matter. That's what they think, Jin continued. They think we'll accept this. File complaints. Send protests. Be good little citizens and follow their rules. But their rules don't protect our children, Tay said, standing. I've been reading galactic law for 3 days. Do you know what I found? There are laws protecting cargo, laws protecting property, laws protecting diplomatic staff, but nothing about children. Nothing that says you can't hurt a child and walk away. The crowd murmured angrily. The galaxy doesn't understand us, Wu said. He was the oldest there, with gray hair and scars from a dozen conflicts. They call us Deathworlders like it's an insult. They think it means we're primitive, violent, dangerous. We are dangerous, Day said quietly. They just don't understand why, Jin nodded. On Earth we have a code. It's older than nations, older than governments. Every culture on our planet has some version of it. You protect the young always, no matter the cost. Lions protect their cubs, Hai said. Wolves protect their pups. Bears will fight to the death for their children. We evolved on a world where everything wanted to kill us. The species that didn't protect their young went extinct. The galaxy doesn't have that, Tay added. Most species lay eggs or have dozens of offspring. They don't have the same bond. They don't understand what it means to us when someone hurts a child. So we're going to teach them, Jin said. The words hung in the air. What are you suggesting? Someone asked nervously. Justice, Jin replied. Real justice. Not Galactic Council paperwork. Not diplomatic protest. The kind of justice humans have always understood. They'll call it murder, another voice said. They'll call it war, Wu agreed. The Slith Concordat won't let this go. I know, Jin said. And I don't care. My brother watched a child get beaten nearly to death. We all live on this station. Any of our children could be next. Any of us could bump into the wrong alien and get killed for it. If we let this stand, we're saying it's acceptable. We're saying human lives don't matter. Tay stepped forward. I'm not asking anyone to join me. This is my choice. But I'm going after Vriltana, with or without help. You're not going alone, Jin said immediately. None of us are going alone, Day added. I'm in. Me too, said Hai one by one, hands went up. All 23 people in that tunnel. Wu pulled out a data pad. If we're doing this, we do it right. I can disable the security systems in the Slith quarters. Give us a 30-minute window before station security notices. Day, you map the interior, Jin ordered. I want to know every entrance, every guard position, every exit. Already done, Day said, producing his own data pad. Been watching them for 2 days. Vriltana has 4 guards. They rotate every 6 hours. Best time to hit them is during shift change at Aero 300. Hi, we need an exit plan, Jin continued. If things go wrong, we need extraction. My ship is docked at Bay 7, Hai replied. Engines warm, cargo bay ready. I can have us off this station in 3 minutes. They planned for 2 hours. Every detail. Every possibility. These were not amateurs. They had all served in some capacity. Earth's military, security forces, special operations. They knew how to plan a mission. While they planned, Na sat with Hai in medical. The little girl's condition was getting worse. Her brain activity was declining. Na had tried everything, but the damage was too severe. Hei's mother held her daughter's small hand. Will she wake up? She asked. Na couldn't answer. She just shook her head. That alien who did this, the father said. His voice was rough with grief. She's still walking around. Still free, still... He couldn't finish. I know, Na said softly. I know. Up in the diplomatic section, Vriltana was hosting a gathering. Other Slith officers came to her quarters. They drank and talked and laughed. I heard the human whelp is still alive, one of them said. Barely, Vriltana replied. Such fragile creatures. One little tap and they break. You should have hit it harder, another joked. They all laughed. The humans sent more protests today, Vriltana continued. Such annoying creatures. Always whining. Always complaining. This is why they should never have been allowed into galactic society. They don't understand their place. They're Deathworlders, someone said. Dangerous and dangerous? Vriltana scoffed. Have you seen how they act? They cry over one offspring. They have rules about not hurting each other. They try to save everyone. These are not the actions of dangerous beings. These are the actions of soft, weak creatures who will soon learn to submit or be removed. More laughter. None of them noticed the small camera Day had planted in the ventilation system. None of them knew their words were being recorded. The next morning, young diplomat named Quan made one final attempt. He went before the Galactic Council personally. He showed them medical reports. He showed them footage of the attack. He begged them to reconsider. The council listened politely. Then Speaker Thalmoran gave their answer. The matter is closed, the alien said. His species were tall and thin with too many joints. Commander Vriltana is protected by diplomatic immunity. This is not negotiable. The child was in her path. The commander reacted according to her cultural norms. We will not punish her for being true to her species. She nearly killed a child, Quan said, his voice shaking. A 6-year-old girl who was just playing. The child survives, Thalmoran replied. What more do you want? Quan returned to the human section with that answer. He told Captain Bin. He told the other diplomats. He told Tay. They don't care, Quan said. He looked broken. They don't care at all. That night at 0300 station time, 23 humans moved through the darkness. Wu sat in a control room, fingers dancing over keyboards. Security cameras went dark in sequence. Alarms were disabled. Electronic locks were bypassed. Day led the way, moving through shadows like he was part of them. Behind him came Jin and Tay, then the others. They wore dark clothes. They carried weapons but hoped they wouldn't need them. The Slythe quarters were quiet. The guards were changing shifts, distracted and sleepy. It took exactly 14 minutes. When it was over, the guards were unconscious but alive. The door to Vriltana's private room stood open. Tay walked through first, his brother behind him. Vriltana was awake, sitting up in her bed. She saw them and her eyes went wide. What is the meaning of this? She hissed. I am a diplomatic officer. You cannot. You hit a child, Tay said quietly. Her name was Hai. She was 6 years old. She liked the gardens. She wanted to be an explorer. Vriltana caught the word. The creature died? 2 hours ago, Tay replied. Her heart stopped. I tried everything, but the damage you did was too much. For just a moment, something flickered in Vriltana's eyes. Not quite fear, not quite understanding, but close. You're making a mistake, she said. The council had their chance, Jin interrupted. Now you have ours. They took her. The old cargo bay hadn't been used in months. It was cold and dark, far from the main station areas. Perfect for what the humans needed to do. They brought Vriltana down through maintenance tunnels. She struggled at first, hissing threats and demands, but zip ties held her wrists and Day's grip on her arm was like iron. By the time they reached the cargo bay, she had gone quiet. Inside, the humans had set up lights. In the center of the bay sat a single chair. Around it, crates were arranged like benches. It looked like a courtroom. That's exactly what it was meant to be. Jin pushed Vriltana into the chair. Her yellow eyes darted around, seeing all the human faces watching her. Some were angry. Some were sad. All were serious. What is this? Vriltana demanded. This is illegal. I am protected by the Galactic Council. Release me immediately. You were protected, Tay said, standing in front of her. The council made their choice. They chose you over a dead child. Now we make our choice. Wu set up a projection screen. We're going to show you something, he said. Then we're going to ask you questions. The screen lit up. It showed the garden. The footage was from station security cameras. Everyone watched as little Hay ran through the garden, laughing and playing. They watched her round the corner, watched her bump into Vriltana. The audio was clear. Hay's small voice saying, I'm sorry. The crack of the crystal staff hitting her skull. The sound of her falling. Several humans looked away. They had all seen it before, but it never got easier. That is not how it happened, Vriltana said, but her voice was weaker. She attacked me. I defended myself. She was 6 years old, Na said, stepping forward. She held a data pad. She weighed 19 kilograms. That's about 40 pounds. She was 1 meter tall. You are 2 meters tall and weigh over 80 kilograms. You also have military training. Tell us how a 6-year-old child threatened you. Vriltana said nothing. Na continued. I have medical records here. The impact crushed the right side of her skull. There was severe brain bleeding. The force required to do that much damage was significant. You didn't just tap her. You hit her with full strength. She was a human, Vriltana hissed. A Deathworlder spawn. They are dangerous. Everyone knows this. Dangerous how? Jin asked. Explain to us how a 6-year-old girl was dangerous to you. Your species, Vriltana said. You come from a world of predators. You are predators. Teaching that creature respect was necessary. By killing her. Tay's voice was cold as ice. She survived at first, Vriltana replied. What happened after was not my concern. Hai pressed a button. New audio played. It was from Vriltana's quarters the night after the attack. Her voice came through clearly. One little tap and they break. Then laughter. Then more. The humans are soft, weak. They will learn to submit. The cargo bay was silent when the recording finished. Do you deny saying those words? Jin asked. Vriltana's scales had gone pale. You recorded me? In my private quarters? That is illegal. Answer the question, Tay said. Did you say those words or not? A long pause. Then yes, I said them. What I said in private is my own business, and everything I said was true. Humans are weak. You care too much about individual offspring. It makes you vulnerable. We're about to show you what else it makes us, Day said quietly from the shadows. Jin stepped forward. Commander Vriltana of the Slith Concordat. You are here to answer for your actions. On the 10th cycle, you struck a human child without cause. That child, Hay, died from her injuries. You have shown no remorse. You have called it justice. You have laughed about it. I have diplomatic immunity, Vriltana said. But there was fear in her voice now. The Galactic Council failed, Jin interrupted. They had a chance to provide justice. They chose politics instead. So now we provide our own justice. This is not justice, Vriltana said. This is revenge. This is murder. You are proving everything the galaxy believes about humans. You are violent, primitive, dangerous. Yes, Tay said simply. We are all of those things. But we are those things for a reason. Do you know what Earth is like, Vriltana? She didn't answer. Wu put new images on the screen. Earth from space, blue and white and beautiful. Then closer images. Lions hunting in tall grass, bears fishing in rivers, wolves running in packs, sharks in the ocean, snakes in the desert, spiders in the jungle. That's our world, Wu said. We evolved alongside all of that. We survived by being smarter, faster, and more ruthless than anything trying to kill us. We learned to hunt in packs. We learned to plan. We learned to protect our young above all else. More images. Human history. Warriors from 100 cultures. Samurai, knights, Spartans, Vikings, all of them fighting to protect their families and children. Every culture on Earth has the same basic rule, Jin continued. Protect the children always. It's in our DNA. It's in our stories. It's in our laws. When someone hurts a child, we don't write reports. We don't debate in councils. We act. You're going to kill me, Vriltana said. It wasn't a question anymore. We're going to give you what you gave Hay, Tay replied. Justice according to our cultural norms. You said the council shouldn't punish you for being true to your species, so we won't apologize for being true to ours. The Slith Concordat will go to war over this, Vriltana said desperately. They will destroy your entire species. Maybe, Jin said. But you won't see it, he looked at Tay. This is your right. She hurt Hay while you watched. This choice is yours. Tay stood in front of Vriltana. He thought about Hay running through the garden. About her laugh. About her small hand in his when he checked her pulse. About her parents crying over her body. In human law, Tay said, when you kill a child, there is only one punishment. We don't care about your rank. We don't care about your diplomatic status. We don't care about politics. You took an innocent life. Now we take yours. Please, Vriltana said. And for the first time she sounded truly afraid. Please, I didn't mean to kill her. I didn't know she would die. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Now you're sorry, Na said bitterly. Now that it's your life. Where was this sorry when Hai was dying? Where was it when the council asked you? I can change, Vriltana pleaded. I can speak to the council. I can tell them to make new laws. Laws to protect children. All children. Please, give me that chance. Tay looked at Jin. Something passed between the brothers. A moment of doubt. Of wondering if mercy was possible. Then Tay remembered Hay's mother screaming. Remembered her father's broken expression. Remembered the little girl who would never explore new worlds. You had your chance, Tay said. The council gave you a chance to show remorse. To accept punishment. You laughed instead. You called Hay a creature. You said her death was teaching us a lesson. He drew his sidearm. Now we teach you one. It was quick. Cleaner than what Vriltana had done to Hai. More merciful than she deserved. When it was done, the cargo bay was silent except for the hum of station machinery. Jin produced a preservation case. Medical grade, the kind used for transporting organs. He looked at his brother. Are we really doing this? He asked quietly. The galaxy needs to see, Tay replied. They need to understand that this can't happen again. Not to any human child, not anywhere. They prepared the case carefully. Evidence of what humans became when you pushed them too far, when you hurt what they loved most. Captain Bin would find the case the next morning, delivered to his office with a simple note. For the Galactic Council. This is what justice looks like when law fails. As the humans left the cargo bay, Day paused at the door. He looked back at where Vriltana had been. My daughter is 3 years old, he said quietly. She plays in the gardens too. If someone hurt her, he didn't finish. He didn't need to. They all understood they were human. Protecting their young wasn't a choice. It was what they were. The station's morning cycle began an hour later. By then, the cargo bay was empty and clean. The humans had returned to their quarters, to their jobs, to their lives, but they were ready. Ready for what would come next. Ready for the galaxy's reaction when they saw what happened to someone who hurt a human child. Ready for war, if it came to that. Because on Earth, there was a saying. It was old and simple and absolutely true. Beware the fury of a patient people. The galaxy was about to learn what that meant. The emergency session of the Galactic Council was called 3 days after Vriltana disappeared. Her guards had been found unconscious. Security footage showed nothing. The Slith Concordat was furious, demanding answers and threatening war. Captain Bin had to explain that he knew nothing. It was true. The humans on his station hadn't told him their plans. They knew he would have to stop them if he knew. Better to ask forgiveness than permission. The council chamber was enormous. It could hold representatives from 500 species. Today it was packed. Everyone wanted to see what would happen. Rumors had spread across the galaxy in hours. A Slith commander was missing. Humans were suspected, or might be coming. Speaker Thalmoran called the session to order. His many-jointed arms gestured for silence. We are here to address the disappearance of Commander Vriltana, he announced. His voice echoed through the chamber. The Slith Concordat has accused humans of kidnapping a diplomatic officer. This is a severe crime. It could mean expulsion from galactic society. It could mean war. The Slith delegation stood. There were 12 of them, all in their military uniforms. Their leader, a general named Sektar, spoke with barely controlled rage. Commander Vriltana has been missing for 3 days, he hissed. We know humans took her. Security systems were disabled by human engineers. She was last seen near human quarters. We demand her return immediately. We demand the arrest of all humans on Meridian 7. We demand justice. Murmurs ran through the chamber. Many species nodded. Some looked uncomfortable. A few looked at the empty human delegation seats with worry. The human delegation was invited to speak, Thalmoran said. Where is their ambassador? The doors opened. Ambassador Mi walked in first. She was young for a diplomat, only 35, but she had hard eyes. Behind her came Jin and Tay, both wearing their old military uniforms. Clean and pressed with all their medals displayed, they looked like soldiers, not criminals. Behind them walked 21 more humans, all the ones who had been in that cargo bay. All of them in uniform if they had one. All of them standing straight and proud. The chamber went silent. Mi walked to the human speaking platform. Jin and Tay stood on either side of her. Jin carried a case. A preservation case. Thank you for allowing us to speak, Mi said. Her voice was calm and clear. We are here to address the accusations made by the Slith Concordat. Where is Commander Vriltana? Sektar demanded. We will get to that, Mi replied. First, we need to discuss why she is missing. We need to discuss what happened before her disappearance. She nodded to Wu. He activated a holographic display. The garden appeared floating above the chamber floor. Everyone watched as little Hai ran through the flowers. Watched her bump into Vriltana. Watched the staff come down. Many aliens looked away. Some made sounds of distress. Others remained silent. The footage continued. It showed Hai in medical. Showed her parents crying. Showed the doctors fighting to save her life. This is Hai, Mi said. She was 6 years old. She was a human child visiting this station with her parents. She was playing in a public garden when she accidentally bumped into Commander Vriltana. For this accident, Vriltana struck her with a crystal staff. Hai suffered severe head trauma. She died 3 days later. The council investigated this matter, Thalmoran interrupted. We found that Commander Vriltana acted within her cultural rights. The child survived at the time of our decision. The child died, me said coldly. And your investigation was a joke. Gasps echoed through the chamber. You didn't speak to the council speaker that way. Ambassador Me, Thalmoran's voice was sharp. You will show respect. Respect? Mike cut him off. You want to talk about respect? Let's talk about it. This council has rules for everything. Rules for trade. Rules for territory. Rules for diplomatic protection. But do you know what you don't have rules for? Protecting children. She pulled up more data. I have spent 3 days reviewing galactic law. There is no law that says you cannot hurt a child. No law that says children are protected. Nothing. In your 5,000 years of civilization, you never thought to write that law. Different species have different approaches to offspring, said a delegate from the avian quill species. Some lay hundreds of eggs. Some have live births. We cannot make laws that apply to all. Every species in this chamber started as a child. Me interrupted. Every single one of you was young once, vulnerable. And I promise you, if someone had killed you when you were 6 years old, your parents would have cared. Your family would have cared. The chamber was quiet now, uncomfortable. Humans come from Earth, Me continued. It's a death world. Class 7 hazard rating. Do you know what that means? It means everything on our planet is trying to kill everything else. We have predators that can bite through steel. We have weather that can level cities. We have diseases that can kill millions. We survived that world by being tougher, smarter, and more vicious than anything else. She paused. But the most important reason we survived? We protect our children, always, no matter what. It's not a law for us. It's instinct. It's in our bones. Every human in this chamber would die to protect a child. Any child, not just their own. Tay stepped forward. When Vriltana killed Hai, we asked for justice. We filed complaints. We followed your procedures. And you told us that diplomatic immunity was more important than a dead child. You told us to accept an apology and move on. So we provided our own justice, Jin said. He placed the preservation case on the platform. For a moment, no one moved. Then Jin opened the case. Inside, perfectly preserved, was Vriltana's head. The chamber exploded into chaos. Aliens were shouting. Some were screaming. The Slith delegation surged forward only to be blocked by security. Thalmoran was yelling for order, his voice barely audible over the noise. Me waited for the chaos to die down. It took several minutes. This is Commander Vriltana, she said calmly as if she was discussing the weather. We arrested her. We held a trial. We presented evidence. She was found guilty of murder. The sentence was death. It was carried out by Tay, who witnessed her crime. This is our justice. This is murder, Sektar roared. This is war! The Slith Concordat demands what? Mai interrupted. She turned to face the Slith delegation. You demand justice? Like we demanded justice for Hay? Like we begged this council to do something? You told us the laws didn't apply, that diplomatic immunity protected her, that we should accept cultural differences. She gestured to the case. So we did. We applied our culture, our justice, our way of handling someone who murders a child. You cannot do this, Thalmoran said. He sounded shaken. You cannot simply execute diplomatic officers. Why not? Tay asked. You told us she couldn't be punished under your laws. You never said we couldn't use our own. An ambassador from the peaceful Valorian species stood. She was tall and graceful, with skin like crystal. This is barbaric, she said. This is exactly why Deathworlders should never have been allowed into galactic society. You are violent, dangerous, unstable. Yes, Me agreed. We are all of those things. We tried to be civilized. We tried to follow your rules. But your rules failed us. Your rules said it was okay to kill our children. She looked around the chamber at all the alien faces. We are giving you one chance, one opportunity to make this right. Write laws that protect children, all children, every species. Make it clear that harming a child is a crime, a real crime with real punishment. Do that, and humans will follow your laws. And if we don't, Thalmoran asked. Then understand this, Jin said. If anyone from any species harms a human child, we will do what we did to Vriltana. We will find them. We will judge them. We will execute them. Diplomatic immunity won't save them. Distance won't save them. Nothing will save them. This is a threat, Sektar said. You are threatening the entire Galactic Council. No, Me replied. This is a promise. This is us telling you who we are. We are human. We come from a world where only the strong survive. We survived by being stronger than everything else. And the most important rule on our world is simple: you don't touch our children. The chamber was silent now. Even the angry Slith were quiet. We are not asking permission, me continued. We are not requesting approval. We are telling you how things are going to be. Write laws to protect all children, or accept that humans will handle it ourselves. Those are your options. Ambassador Quilnara stood. The avian was old and wise. I warned you, she said to Thalmorin. I told you that humans were dangerous. Not because they are violent, but because they love. They love their children so much that they would go to war for them. You didn't listen. What would you have us do? Thalmorin asked her. Accept this? Let humans execute whoever they want. I would have you write the law they asked for. Quilnara replied. Protect children. All children. It's not a difficult concept. Most of us would agree it's right. We just never bothered to make it official. Outside the council chamber, a human warship decloaked, then another, then 3 more. 5 ships total, hanging in space where everyone could see them. A message came to the council. It was from Commander Han of the human naval vessel Vigilance. The message was simple. We're here to escort our people home. Any attempt to arrest them will be considered an act of war. Thalmorin looked at the ships on his display. He looked at the humans standing proud and unafraid in his. The 3 days felt like 3 years. The human delegation stayed on their ships. 5 warships hanging in space. Weapons powered but not targeted. A statement of strength, not aggression. Inside the largest ship, the Vigilance, Ambassador Mi met with Admiral Yun. The admiral was a small woman, barely 60 years old, but she had fought in every major human conflict for the past 20 years. She looked at the preservation case that Mi had brought back from the council. They're calling us monsters, Admiral Yun said, reading reports from galactic news feeds. Barbarians, murderers. Let them, Mi replied. She looked tired. They called us weak when we begged for justice. They call us monsters when we take it. There's no winning with them. The Slith Concordat is mobilizing their fleet, Yun continued. 30 ships heading this way. They want revenge for Vriltana. Can we handle 30 ships? Yun smiled. It wasn't a nice smile. We're human. We always assume we're outnumbered. Yes, we can handle them. The question is whether we should. The council has 1 more day to answer, Mi said. Let's see what they say first. Down on Meridian 7, life had changed. The humans were quiet. They went to work, did their jobs, and went home. But everyone could feel the tension. Aliens avoided them, some with fear, some with anger, some with something that might have been respect. Captain Bin called Tay to his office. The security officer came, knowing this conversation was inevitable. I should arrest you, Bin said. He looked older than ever. You killed a diplomatic officer. You started an interstellar incident. You might start a war. I know, Tay replied, but I won't, Bin continued, because you did what I should have done, what I couldn't do because of rules and regulations and politics. He paused. That little girl, hey, she was just playing. She was, Tay said quietly. I have a daughter, Bin said. Back on Earth, she's 8 now. If someone hurt her, he didn't finish. You're fired, effective immediately. Pack your things and get off my station before I change my mind. Tay nodded. He understood. Bin had to maintain order, had to look like he was following the rules. Thank you, Captain, Tay said, for everything. After Tay left, Bin sat alone in his office. He pulled up the footage 1 more time, watched Tay running through the garden. He thought about his own daughter, about what he would do if someone hurt her. He realized Tay had shown more restraint than he would have. Inside the council chambers, the debate raged for 3 days straight. Species shouted at each other. Old alliances fractured, new ones formed. The Slith Concordat demanded justice. They wanted all the humans involved arrested and executed. They wanted humanity expelled from galactic space. They wanted war if they didn't get it. But other species weren't so sure. Ambassador Quilnara spoke for hours. She showed evidence of how dangerous Earth was. She showed footage of human history. Wars, conflicts. Humans fighting with sticks and stones, then swords, then guns, then weapons that could destroy entire planets. This is what they are, she said. Warriors, survivors, protectors. They fought their way to the top of their world through sheer determination. and their most basic instinct is to protect their young. We ignored that instinct. We told them their children didn't matter. This is the result. A delegate from the peaceful Valorian Empire stood. So we should fear them? Let them dictate terms to us? No, Quilnara replied. We should understand them, and we should write the law they asked for, because they're right. We should have laws protecting children. All children. It's shameful that we don't. The debate continued. More species joined in. Some agreed with Quilnara. Others sided with the Slith. The council was splitting down the middle. On the second day, something unexpected happened. Dr. Sun, a human xenobiologist, requested permission to speak. The council granted it. Sun was calm and professional. She brought data, not emotion. I've studied 70 different species in the galaxy, she said. Most lay eggs. Many have dozens of offspring at once. Only 15% have live births with small numbers of children. Humans are in that 15%. But we're unique in one way. She pulled up charts and graphs. Human infants are the most helpless in the known galaxy. We're born months premature compared to other species. A baby horse can walk in hours. A baby human takes a year. This is because of our large brains. We had to be born early or we wouldn't fit through the birth canal. The aliens listened, curious despite themselves. This means humans must care for their young longer and more intensely than almost any other species. Sun continued. It's not cultural. It's biological. We evolved to be extremely protective because our children are so vulnerable. When you harm a human child, you're not just breaking a law. You're triggering millions of years of evolution. You're activating every protective instinct we have. She paused. Vriltana didn't just hurt Hai. She told every human that their children aren't safe, that we can't protect them through your laws. She forced us to choose between our children and galactic society. We chose our children. We will always choose our children. The chamber was quiet when she finished. On the third day, the Slith fleet arrived. 30 warships. They took position opposite the 5 human ships. For several hours, the two forces faced each other. Weapons charged. Shields up. Everyone waiting for someone to fire the first shot. Admiral Yun opened a channel to the Slith commander. You fire first, we respond. You attack the station, we protect it. You want war, we'll give you war. But understand this. Humans don't surrender. We don't retreat. We fight until we win or until we die. Every single human ship will target yours specifically. You might destroy us, but you won't survive either. Is that really what you want? The Slith commander didn't respond, but his ships didn't fire. Inside the council chamber, Speaker Thalmoran finally called for a vote. The question was simple. Should the Galactic Council create universal laws protecting children? The vote took an hour. Species argued with their own delegations. Alliances were tested. Finally, the results came in. 370 species voted yes. 112 voted no. 18 abstained. The law passed. Thalmoran announced it with a heavy voice. The Galactic Council hereby creates the Universal Sapient Youth Protection Act. All juveniles of all species are now protected under galactic law. Harm to any child is a crime. Killing a child is murder. Diplomatic immunity does not apply in such cases. The chamber erupted in noise. Some cheered. Others protested. The Slith delegation walked out. Furthermore, Thalmoran continued, regarding the case of Commander Vriltana, the Council recognizes that while the methods were illegal, the humans acted in response to a failure of galactic justice. The case is considered closed. No charges will be filed. It wasn't forgiveness. It wasn't approval. But it was acceptance. Admiral Yun received the news on the Vigilance. She looked at me. We won. No, Mi said, looking at the preservation case one last time. He lost. Her parents lost. We just made sure no one else has to lose the same way. The Slith fleet withdrew. Slowly, reluctantly, but they withdrew. There would be bad blood for years. Maybe generations. But there wouldn't be war today. On Meridian 7, Tay packed his belongings. Jin helped him. They would leave together on the Defiant Hope, return to human space. They could never come back to council stations. But that was fine. They had done what needed to be done. Before they left, Tay visited the garden one last time. The spot where Hai fell was clean now. No blood, no sign of what happened, but a small memorial had been placed there. A stone with her name, placed by other humans on the station. A reminder, You think it was worth it? Jin asked. Tay looked at the memorial, then at the garden where human children were playing, watched carefully by their parents. Ask me in 20 years, he replied. When those kids are grown and safe. They left the station that day, 23 humans who had changed galactic law forever. They weren't heroes to everyone. The Slith called them murderers. Some species agreed, but to humans across the galaxy they were something else. Protectors. A month later, on a human colony world, Tai attended a funeral. It was for Hay. Her parents had brought her body home to be buried. Hundreds of people came. Most had never met her. But she was a human child, and they all understood what she represented. Na gave a speech. He loved gardens. She wanted to explore new worlds. She was 6 years old, and she died because someone thought human children didn't matter. We made sure the galaxy knows different now. We made sure every child, human or alien, has protection. That's Hay's legacy. That's what her life meant. They buried her under a tree. A earth tree. An oak. Brought from the homeworld. It would grow tall and strong. Children would play under it someday. Tay placed a hand on the bark. We did it, he said quietly. We made sure no one can do to another child what was done to you. I hope that's enough. The years passed. The law held. There were challenges and disputes, but the Universal Sapient Youth Protection Act remained. Children across the galaxy were safer because 23 humans decided that some things mattered more than politics. The Sith'lith never forgave. But they never forgot either. Neither did anyone else. Humanity's reputation changed that day. They were no longer seen as naive newcomers. They were no longer dismissed as soft or weak. They were seen as what they truly were, a species from a death world where only the strong survived. A species that valued,